welcome to your yoga practice today. Thank you for taking time and joining me on your mat. Today's class is going to be focused on the hips and the lower back. So we're going to do some work to try to move the hip joint in all different directions and stretch the front, the side, and the back of the hip, which when we access this area, the low back is going to start to benefit from that as well. So you'll feel some nice releasing through our lower back too. So for our class today, if you want to have 2 blocks and a strap, I think that will be wonderful. We are going to be doing some lunges, low lunges today. So if you need to cushion your knee, you can have a blanket for that part as well. So to begin, we're going to start in an easy seated pose. And if already when you go to cross your legs, if the knees start to pull up and they come over this hip line, I want you to take a block or a cushion or a pillow, whatever you've got handy, and sit yourself on the block. And you want to sit a little bit forward of the block. So if the knees are lifted as you sit forward, that tilts your pelvis as if you're going to pour water forward from the pelvic bowl. And that helps to release the knees down, rotating the knees properly to help the hips start to open. So sitting on your block, hands can reach down towards your knees. Palms can be facing up if you feel like you need a little bit extra oomph today, a little bit of help energetically. And palms can be faced down if you already feel like you have what you need. Go ahead and close your eyes. Roll your shoulders down the back. Let the crown of your head lift you a little bit taller. And then position your spine over your sit bone. So maybe just leaning back just a slight amount, feeling more stable and as if your bones are stacking on top of one another. Soften any tension across the muscles of your face. And bring your attention to the tip of your nose. And feel on your next inhale the breath coming in. And as you exhale, the breath moving out. Again, keep awareness at the tip of your nose, breathing in, feeling the breath enter. And releasing the breath out. And just take a few more rounds of breath, lots of attention, all your focus on how the breath is moving and feeling within your body. And then let your attention trickle down your back, moving into your lower spine, into your hips and pelvis. And just notice how those spaces are feeling for you. And if you're finding tension, let it be there. Accept it. Welcome it. If you're already feeling freedom and space, wonderful. Welcome it. Accept it. Don't get too excited if you're feeling good there, because we know every time we come to our mat, it can be a different story. So we want to remain neutral in all of our reactions and responses to how the physical body feels. Continue to feel your breath. And if there is tightness that you're working with, visualize the breath moving to the hips and freeing them up just with the breath. Create your intention for our practice today, a simple, positive phrase in the present tense. And repeat that intention 2 more times to yourself. And we'll enjoy 3 more breaths here. Sit up a little taller. Relax any holding. And gently blink your eyes open. If you are on your block, you can go ahead and remove it from underneath. And then let's bring the soles of the feet together. So already, just right away into a hip opener for Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together. If you would like, blocks can go underneath your knees. And I think for this first round, I'm going to go ahead and do that myself. And this creates a stopping point for the hip rotation. Grab hold of the feet or the ankles somewhere. Think of opening up the soles of the feet as if you're reading a book. Sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, just gently start to pull your heart beyond the toes, dropping your torso down into a forward fold. Now maybe here you can sway a little bit through the shoulders, which might help ease the tension, the pull of the inner thighs. I'm actually feeling good, so I'm going to move the blocks away now. My hips were asking to go a little bit deeper, so I'm going to honor that. And now I can press my elbows into my shins and help with that rotation even further. Maybe a little rock from side to side again here, or you can even kind of flap your butterfly wings here. Let's take 2 more breaths. Next inhale, rise up, sitting up nice and tall. You can help the knees come together. And I like to do little can-can kicks here. Help the legs feel neutral again. And then hands drop behind the back. Fingers can turn out from the body. And just take some seated windshield wipers here. So enjoy that internal rotation of the knees, of the hips. 1 more to each side. Wonderful. Let's come around to tabletop pose, hands and knees. So wrists right underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Press into your fingertips and especially root down into index and thumb mound. So you feel your upper arms sort of hugging in towards one another. Gently sway through your hips, rocking from side to side. Imagine as if a gentle breeze comes by and just gently moves the lower part of your body. And now start to take the pelvis around in circles. And switch directions. Keep gripping into hands, pulling up on the navel. And come back to neutral. Next inhale, let the heart drop. Lift the tail and the chin, cow. And exhale, press the earth away. Really try to pull your pelvis towards your thumbs. Let your chin drop and look towards your navel. Inhaling, cow, arcing, lifting. And exhale, rounding, cat pose. Let's take 2 more here. Return to a neutral spine. Tuck your toes under. Lift the knees and the hips. Downward facing dog. Feel free to take some time pedaling out your knees, swaying through your hips here even. Keep that contact with the fingertips and the index and thumb knuckle, and keep the core engaged. 2 more deep breath here. Inhale, looking forward towards your hands. As you exhale, walk yourself forward, folding up. Inhaling a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms reach up, extend to the sky, stretch the body. And exhale, let the arms go, mountain pose. Good. So you can stay standing at the top of the mat. We're gonna do some lower body work. So keep a slight bend in the left knee, but really bend that right knee. If you can find some balance, lift the right foot up and roll the ankle, switching directions, flex and point the toes. You can gently bring the toes down and do those ankle circles here as well with more support. And then step that right foot out a little bit. Be on the ball of the foot, knee pointing out. So this is an external rotation with an open hip. And now turn the knee in, internal rotation. So it's like you're squashing a bug, but that's not nice. So just spiraling, twisting that knee in and out, in and out. But now you can stay here. If your balance is feeling pretty good today, you can take the knee up and around and go into some bigger hip circles here. And switch directions. Good. Let's bring that right foot back down. So a little softness in that right knee. You can come up onto the left toes and maybe just move the ankle around here. Or lift the foot, balance, roll the ankle, switch directions, point and flex the toes. Good. Left foot steps out a little bit more, a bend in the knee, external rotation, open hip, and then turn the knee in, internal rotation. Open out and in, out and in. Stay here or balancing, bring the knee up, and bigger circles here. And just notice the difference from side to side. You can switch, get some pops, and left foot comes down. Good, pedal out the knees, shake the hips, and some hula hoops here. Switch directions. All right, so standing in mountain at the top of the mat, you can have your blocks, one on each side. That's to help you in case the earth feels far away. So standing tall, mountain pose, shoulders down the back, soften the knees, and gently engage the core. Navel hugging back, ribs hugging back towards the spine. Next inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale, right foot's gonna step back. Keep the knee lifted and the hands down on the ground. Pull your shoulders away from the ears and start to lift your heart and chin. Next exhalation, slowly start to bring that right knee down, sinking to the earth, and you can use a blanket here if you would like. And then again, as you inhale, think of lifting the heart, lifting the chin. Plant your right hand to the earth or a block, and as you inhale, sweep that left arm back and reach up for a twist. Let your hips sink a little bit heavier here, but control that with the core. Exhaling, left hand will come down inside of the left foot. Walk the left foot out towards the edge of the mat. You can turn the toes out a little bit. And I'm feeling, again, pretty good in my hips today, so I'm going to reach my right knee back a little bit more. Lizard pose. Feel free to stay up on the hands. And if you want a little bit more movement, just sway gently from side to side with the hips, with the shoulders. Feel free to use your blocks here too under the hands to bring the earth up to you. We'll stay for a few more breaths, so if it's feeling good, go ahead and travel down to your forearms. And again, keep thinking of lifting the heart and the chin just slightly. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Next inhale, as you walk up onto the hands, bring that left foot more towards the middle of the mat, both hands on either side. Inhale, lift the right knee up. Exhale, spin the heel down and walk yourself over to the middle of the mat, turning that left foot forward as well. So both toes. Hopefully you have more than 2 toes. All your toes will be facing off the right edge of the mat. The feet are parallel to each other. Soften your knees a bit here. Roll more of your weight towards the outer edge of the foot. And on your next exhalation, let yourself drop and fold, standing wide angle. Head releases. Knees are bent to help your low back. And if you want to, you can think of pressing your outer hips up towards the sky, which will start to stretch and straighten the hamstrings a bit more. And it will find a nice tilt. Again, that sort of cow tilt in the pelvis. Next inhale, lift up halfway, looking forward. And as you exhale, walk around towards the left foot once again. Right knee will sink down. And sweep that left leg back and around. Tabletop pose. Sway your hips side to side. Circles through the hips. And come back to neutral. Tone your belly, tuck your toes, inhaling up and back, downward facing dog. Let's take 3 deep breaths here, maybe moving your dog if that feels good. Inhale, looking towards the hands. And exhale, folding yourself up. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, rise up, reach to the sky, stretch. Then exhale, mountain. Good, reset at the top with your blocks. Next inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway. And exhale, the left foot will go back. Knee will stay lifted initially. Let the hips sink. Fingertips on the earth or hands can be on your blocks. As you inhale, press shoulders away from the ears. Get that neck to feel longer. Heart presses forward, chin lifts up. Keep that opening in the back body. Next exhale, slowly start to bend the left knee. Bring it down to the ground. Good. Reiterate that press of the heart forward and up, the lift of the chin, and the dropping of the hips. Left hand is going to stay down, either blocks or earth. And next inhale, sweep that right arm back and up, open for your twist. Exhaling, right hand comes down inside the right foot. Right foot walks out to the edge of the mat. Turn the toes out. Again, check in with how the hips are feeling. We're really stretching through the front of the pelvis and into the hip flexors. If you need, use your blocks and rest on your blocks. Otherwise, you can start to come down onto forearms. Left knee maybe can walk back a little bit to go deeper here. Movement might feel nice, might be necessary, so sway the hips a little bit. That is perfectly fine. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Notice if you are resisting how you're feeling, and try to surrender by accepting. Surrendering isn't just giving up, it's allowing what you feel to be there. And slowly start to walk back up onto the hands. Right foot will travel back towards the center of the mat. Inhale, lift your left knee. Exhale, spin the heel down and walk around, maybe with your blocks, to the long edge of your mat. Again, toes are going to be facing off the left edge. Soften your knees, take an inhale halfway. And as you exhale, fold. So feel free to lunge a little bit from side to side here. Walking your hands toward each foot, back and forth. Back to center, take an inhale halfway. And as you exhale, walking around towards the front, slowly bring left knee down, and your right leg can sweep back and around. Finding tabletop pose once again, sway through your hips a little bit, go through those circles, and if it's feeling good, you can go into some cat and cows here as well. Let's take 2 more breaths, however you want to move. Good. Go ahead and bring the feet and the knees together. Sit your hips back towards your heels and rest in a child's pose with the legs closed so that your low back is supported here. Next inhale, rise up, downward facing dog. Next inhale, reach your right leg up. As you exhale, bend the knees, stack the hips, try to point your right knee up towards the sky. Inhale, re-straighten that right leg. And as you exhale, step the foot between the hands. Drop the left heel open and rise up for warrior 2. So heel to arch alignment, arms reaching long. Next inhale, straighten that right leg, but don't lock the knee out, keep it softer. And as you exhale, reach forward and come down for triangle pose. Try to get your shoulders to be in the same plane as one another. So left shoulder isn't dropping forward and it isn't reaching back too much. So you're nice and even in the shoulders. And if you need, your block can go underneath the right hand instead of having your hand on your leg. Again, make sure your knees are softer. Squeeze upper inner thighs towards one another. Tone your belly. And as you inhale, rise up. Keep that front leg straight. And exhale, reverse your triangle. Inhale, come back to warrior 2, bending into the right knee. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Block can go out of the way. And step back, downward facing dog. Pedal the knees, sway through the hips. Inhaling, left leg reaches up. Exhale, bending the knees, stack the hips, open through the pelvis. Inhale, re-extend. And exhale, left foot steps forward, right heel spins down, warrior 2, rising up. Straighten that left leg, don't lock it out. Take an inhalation, start to reach forward. And exhale, left hand down for triangle. So here we're opening up this outer portion of the hip. So think of pulling your waistline away from the hips, from the pelvis here. You can use a block. Make sure your knees stay soft. Tone your belly. Inhale, rising up. Use the core. Keep that left leg straight. And exhale, reach back. Reverse your triangle. Inhale back, warrior two. Exhale, cartwheel hands down. Step it back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. On your next exhale, come down to your knees. So wrists are under the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Drop your hips straight down to the right, so right towards the long edge of the mat. And slowly, and take this with your body, how you're feeling, start to bring that left forearm, left elbow down. So again, a deeper stretch through the outer portion of the hip, the TFL is what we're stretching here. And lift the left elbow, come back to center. Maybe you feel a lot after that, so you can shake the hips, cat and cow, or rest in child's pose. And when you're ready, coming to the second side, so hips drop straight down to the left, and slowly, depending on how I'm feeling, I'm going to start to soften my right elbow, right forearm down. And come back up through center. Again, a little wiggle, cat and cows. Rise up to downward facing dog. Now on your next inhale, right leg's gonna reach up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, hug the right knee in towards the heart, shifting your shoulders over your wrist for plank. Now turn your shin so it's more parallel to the top edge of the mat, and drop your right knee behind your right wrist and your right foot down behind your left wrist for pigeon. Start to walk that left foot back, knee can sink down, and you can untuck the back toes. Now I have my right leg coming down across the front of the body versus more parallel to the front edge of the mat. So the more you pull the heel in towards yourself, the easier this will feel. Take a look back at the left leg. Make sure it looks like your leg is coming out from your hip. We don't want it reaching off to the side or going across the mat. If I had lights on my hips, they would both be shining forward towards the front edge of the mat, and my right glute is down. This is where you can use your block or your pillow again, and if your hips are lifted, just bring the earth up to you. Okay. Now you may stay upright, or to deepen, start to fold yourself forward, and even here, if you're not using your blocks underneath your bottom, you can rest your forehead on your block here. We'll stay for a couple of breaths, a little bit longer of a hold here. So if things start to feel good and open up, you can start to move this right shin more forward. And as you do, you want to be flexing the toes now. Whereas if the foot is back close to the body, you can point. Okay. So just make any adjustments that feel good for you. And we'll stay here for 5 more breaths. Walk back up onto your hands. Tuck the back toes under. I like to scooch the back knee in, so I'm lining more of my shoulders over my wrists. Lift the back knee, press down, pull that right shin up, and step back to down dog. Whew, probably feeling a lot with that one, so you can shake out the right leg. If you need a break before second side, please come to child's pose. And when you're ready, inhaling, left leg will reach up. Exhale, knee hugs into the heart, shift forward, turn that shin towards the front of the mat, and drop knee behind the left wrist, foot behind the right, and the right knee can walk back, dropping you into pigeon. This might be your tighter side, so use any props that are going to help you out here. Block underneath that left glute or block forward to rest your forehead. Taking a look, right leg is in line with my hip and heel is close, so I'm pointing the toes back. I'm going to fold forward here. And again, adjusting that front shin more parallel if you need to go deeper. And just surrender to whatever you're feeling here. It's all good. If you're feeling tight and tense, that is okay. The hips are where we store a lot of our emotional trauma. And right now, with all of our isolation and stay-at-home requirements, it's a tough time. So it might not be you. It might be the environment that you're in. Okay. So just nice deep breath. And we'll take 5 more here. Walk up onto your hands, back toes tucked under, bring the knee in, closer towards the left heel, and then press down, lift the right knee, lift the left shin, and take it back to dog. And again, might be a lot you're feeling after that, so shake out the leg, pedal the knees, sway through the hips. Good. All right, let's come down to the knees. Go ahead and swing the legs forward, extending the left leg out. You may want your strap for this one, and possibly a block. So left leg's gonna go out, right knee's gonna bend, and we're gonna bring the sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. So here, just kind of like Baddha Konasana, if that knee is lifted, block goes underneath so that these muscles aren't compressing and holding the hip up. We want to be able to let it relax and fall open. Okay, so turning your upper body towards the front of the mat again. Your strap, if you would like, you can place around the ball of the left foot. Gently flex your toes, soften that left knee. Shoulders away from ears. Inhale, sit up tall. And as you exhale, forward fold. And your hands can walk up the strap. Maybe you don't need the strap and you can grab hold of the foot. And if this hip is asking for more depth, block can move and you can really soften the knee down. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Inhale, rising up. Let's take just a gentle twist over that right knee. And back to center. Switching sides so you can adjust your props. Strap can go around the right foot. Left knee bends in. Block underneath that left knee if you would like. Sitting up nice and tall. Take an inhale. Soften that right knee. And as you exhale, fold yourself down. 2 more breaths. And slowly walking yourself up. Gentle twist over that left knee. And come back to center. Alright, go ahead and extend both legs, pedal the knees, flop the feet a few times. Let's lie down onto our backs. Left leg will stay extended out. I'm going to bring my right knee in towards my heart. I'm going to walk my shoulders a little bit over to the left edge of the mat. Open your right arm out to the right side. And on your next exhalation, drop the right knee over to the left for a spinal twist. Think of reaching through that left foot. The right knee getting heavier and heavier. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Slowly come back up through center. Extend the right leg up straight, maybe shake the leg a few times, and release right leg down. Come back to neutral on your mat with your hips and shoulders, and then shoulders can walk a little bit to the right. Left knee hugs in, left arm opens out to the side, and as you exhale, drop that left knee to the right side for your spinal twist. Reach through the right leg. And let your left knee get heavier here. 3 more breaths. Slowly come back to center. Left leg goes straight. Shake the leg a few times and release the left leg down. Alright, so you can grab one of your blocks. Lying back down, plant your feet. Knees are bent, pointing up to the sky. Lift your hips up, and I'm just going to go on the lowest height today, but you can feel free to do the medium or the highest level. Releasing my lower back to the block. I'm really going to let my glutes, hamstrings, thighs soften here. So I feel a nice heaviness of my lower back onto the block. And from here, you can choose to reach your legs up towards the sky or widen the feet towards the edges of the mat and drop the knees in on one another for knock knees. Wherever you're choosing to go, we're going to hold for 10 breaths. Feet can come down or you can walk the feet together. Lifting the hips up, removing the block. And slowly letting your back come down. Hug your knees into your heart. You can gently rock from side to side. Maybe move the knees in circles. Then grab the outer edges of the feet. The knees are open for happy baby. And then we'll take just 3 breaths here. Hug your knees together one more time. And extend your legs long for Shavasana pose. Now, while in Shavasana, if you want a little bit of an opening still through the hips, feel free to bring the soles of the feet together. For our Baddha Konasana, letting the knees open here. And if you're taking that variation, you can bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your lower belly. Eyes are soft. Reconnect with your breath. Just notice the differences that you're feeling from the beginning of your practice to now. How does the physical body feel? Mentally, what's changed for you? What have you been thinking about? And emotionally, what have you cleared away? Notice if you feel lighter and more spacious in your body. And just try to drop right into your rest. And we'll spend a few moments here together. Bring your attention back to your body and your breath. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, and you can drop your head from side to side. On an inhale, reach your arms overhead, elongation stretch. And as you exhale, soften, surrender. Hug your knees into your heart. And sweetly roll down to your right side, pausing here for a breath. Then keeping your eyes closed, if you can, press yourself up back to our easy seated pose. Hands meet in prayer in front of your heart. And take a moment to repeat your intention to yourself, promising to take it with you throughout the rest of your day. A moment of gratitude for your body, your breath, and this time on your mat. Bow your brain, sealing everything in. And namaste. Thank you so much for joining me with this practice. I hope you are feeling good in your lower body. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Namaste.